And I'm sitting there, and then all Daisy's family and everyone starts chahooing, jumping up and down. I'm sitting there just like lost for words. I didn't really know what was happening. It took a while to actually sink in.
Israel Dagg, Hawke's Bay.
I was in Gisborne and I was with my wife's family, and we were all sitting around, and like the team was being named that day. And if I'm being completely honest, I didn't expect to be named. I didn't even think I was in the frame or in the picture. Back in those days, well, it's still the same now, you find out on the TV. But back in those days, it was the rugby channel. And the rugby channel was separate from Sky TV, so you had to actually book the channel. So unbeknown to me, I found out that my father-in-law had actually booked the rugby channel for the team naming. So we all sat there and we were listening to the team being named in Gisborne, and I'm sitting on the couch and I'm like, why, it's definitely not going to happen. And it goes in alphabetical order.
The team is Anthony Borich, North Harbour.
They start with A and they go through John R4, and then they go to Aaron Cruden.
Aaron Cruden, Manawatu.
And then I'm thinking, it's going to go straight past D. Why me? And then they said Israel Dagg, Hawke's Bay.
Israel Dagg, Hawke's Bay.
And I was sitting there, and then all Daisy's family and everyone starts chahooing, jumping up and down. I'm sitting there just like lost for words. I didn't really know what was happening. It took a while to actually sink in. And then next minute, that's when I really started hitting home, was my phone just started blowing up. And just getting all these messages, camera crews coming around wanting to film me, and TV3 on the news. Everyone just wanted to be a part of this. I was just absolutely blown away. I think it was a pretty special moment. Everyone was emotional. I remember my mum and dad, they were in Hawke's Bay, and they actually drove to Gizzy to come see me and spend some time with me and sit down and have dinner together, pop the champagne. And like when you hear your name on the TV and you've been announced in a team that you just thought was not even possible. I remember growing up in Hawke's Bay and down a dead end street and playing rugby and wanting to be an All Black. You see them on TV, and I guess when you watch them on TV, it just feels like the dream's impossible. Nothing, you can't get there because when you see them, they're so big. The All Blacks are so revered around the world, everyone loves them, so why me? So I was just sitting there, and when they said my name, All Blacks 2010 team to take on Ireland and Wales, and they named me, I was just, that's when it all hit home, just instant shock. Nothing but cool. This ball needs to cool off. It kind of really hit home how big this beast is, the ABs. When you fly to Auckland, you've got to do a commercial day. We've got to look after our sponsors. They're a big part of what we do and how we can do it. So you fly to Auckland and you go into the studio and you got 1,000 cameras shining on you, all these lights going off, you're doing all these actions. You've got to, pretty much become an actor straight away. So that's when it kind of hit home. I remember vividly jumping in a taxi after that commercial shoot and going back to the hotel. I didn't know who my roomie was, but I remember this moment. I was sitting with Brad Thorne, and I was playing for the Highlanders at the time, and there was speculation about me going to the Crusaders, and I was sitting with Thorne, he's like, "How you going, boy?" And I'm like, "Oh, good, Thorny. How are you, mate?" And I'm just absolutely packing myself. And he's like, "Well, have you signed the dotted line yet?" And I'm like, "What do you mean?" He's like, "You're coming to the Crusaders." Anyway, just sold the dream for about half an hour ride back to the hotel. By the end of that drive, I'd signed the dotted line. I was like, "Yeah, I'm coming, mate. I'll be there for you. Promise you." So I remember that vividly. And then my first roommate, Mills Muliaina, someone who I just loved and watched and tried to mould my game on. He was my first roommate. I was actually quite starstruck. I was blown away. And just a room again in my room, and he's sitting there and he's just the ultimate professional, and I'm in my room and I'm just like, what do I do? Twiddling my thumb, get my phone, look at the daily planner, because we get daily schedules of where you got to be. Okay, 6:30 we got a meeting tonight, don't miss that. And then going through, okay, dinner's at 7:30, I'll be there at 25 past. So you just constantly looking at the daily schedule, okay, so it is. And I'm like trying to remember all this, and then I look over and Millsy's got his book out, this big B4, B5, whatever they use, and he's just writing all these things. So I'm like thinking, what's he writing, So I just try and pretend to get my book out and just start scribbling, you know, just so I can feel like I'm a professional. So I'm just scribbling a few things sitting there. I was constantly asking Millsy questions about, you know, what I need to do, and he was awesome. I guess when you're a young guy, back in the old days, going into a new environment, you know, it could be pretty daunting, and I guess a lot of the old school players, you know, they're really traditional. They try and make the young guys earn the respect and earn their keep. I think for Millsy, he was pretty awesome from the get-go. He just led me in the right direction, showed me around, made me feel comfortable and confident. I guess when you go in there, you just don't know where you fit. So I really commend them on that, just welcoming me in and showing me the ropes pretty early. Oh, like I said, it was just you just watching the telly and you're seeing Jonah Lomu and Christian Cullen and Dan Carter. You know, Dan Carter. Oh, I'll tell the story because he seems to tell everyone. At high school, I actually had a hotmail called izzycarter@hotmail.com. So I used to call myself Izzy Carter. You know, I had no abs, I didn't even have any body shape like him. I don't know why I did, but I just used to mould myself around DC and love what he was about. And then I'm sitting next to him. You know, I'm sitting next to DC. So it's guys like that had to put so much effort and taken the jersey to another level and left it in a better place than they found it. And then you're sitting there game day, you're sitting and you've got this jersey in front of you. You know, it's better in real life than it looks on TV, I tell you that. It's like the stitching's perfect. The All Blacks logo, you know, you got the Adidas, you got the silver fern, you've got your name on it, you've got your first cap, the date, who you're playing. Yeah, so it's just a really big emotional day, and until you get that jersey and you experience that moment of pulling it over your head and pulling it onto your body, you just don't really know what it's like, and until you do that, it's a dream, and that dream came true for me against Ireland in New Plymouth, and I'll never forget it. I've still got the jersey hanging up. I've just hung them up. They've all been framed. My memories is look, I didn't expect to start. The closer we got to the game, the more nervous I got. You know, I don't want to make a fool of myself. All of these thoughts and all these emotions go through my mind. It was a crazy week, but the game, it flew by. It flew by. We were lucky enough that one of the Irish, Jamie Heaslip, he got a red card, so we were playing against 14 men, and DC was on a heater. He was playing extremely well. I had a pretty solid performance for a debut against Ireland in New Plymouth. It was my birthday weekend, so all the stars were aligning. And I just remember that game flew by. We beat them by 60, and it's not going to happen like that in June, I get you, because they're a tough old outfit, but everything just flowed nicely, and the week was special. The game was tough, it was physical, but we just got on top of them nice and early, and everything flowed nicely.